balding, at this
Yeah.
point. Like, I have friends that when they got to not even 25, they got to like 20, and they started having like bald spots and stuff. I got a big old forehead, but that's just, it's inevitable. So, you know, the big forehead really said, "I am inevitable." But anyway,
Anyway,
so Ben,
yes.
hello, nice to see
Hello.
you.
Yes.
Yes,
I
yes.
haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Just had our 1 year D&D anniversary,
Yeah.
so claps all the way around for that. And like I said, I'm just gonna make up some questions for you, and
Go ahead.
we'll just, my editing skills on TikTok, so we'll make it into whatever it can be. But Ben, who
Yes.
is your character in this campaign?
That'd be Damien's Song. He's the Tiefling Paladin, now multiclassing into Bard.
That's I thought it was Daniel Soul.
Man, what did I say?
He's a Damien Song, which we're gonna get to him. We're gonna get to him. It's been like a month.
It's
It's
been a
been like a
while.
month.
I'm sorry. Yeah. What? Yeah,
It's okay.
Daniel Soul. That is correct. Damien
Yeah, yeah,
Song.
yeah,
Who is
yeah.
that? Oh, wait, that's the king, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and we're gonna
Wow,
get
my
to that.
brain.
We're gonna come back to that. So that's cool that you remember his name. You just got him flip flopped.
Oh, I know why I
Um,
did that, but we're probably gonna get to
it's
that
a
later.
it's a it's a D name and then an S name.
Well,
Daniel Soul, Damien Song.
yeah. Most I'm sure we're gonna get to it later, but there's another reason why I got them confused.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, dude, what reason was that?
All right. Well, it's actually the character that Daniel's based off of is a
Mhm.
character from the show Invincible called
Okay.
Damien Darkblood. He's a hellspawn detective that he tries to solve crimes to save his soul. Um,
Gotcha.
so the name Damien really got me confused there. So
I gotcha.
yeah,
That's cool though, and I know you've mentioned that before. Um, was the part that inspired you to take from him for Daniel, was that like the aesthetic or his personality, or like what about it drew it? Was it just like a looks thing or?
it was pretty much I really loved the entire character. Like
Mhm.
didn't want to copy it, and I don't think I did, but I basically put like the same aesthetically and um he probably is built weapon too. But yeah, I loved his personality. Um, he was he never wanted to leave a crime unsolved.
Yeah.
Uh, and then eventually got put back to hell because of it. Because I don't, have you seen the show?
I have not. I've tried so many animes. You said it was an anime, right?
It's not anime. It's
Oh, it's not an anime.
Invincible.
Okay.
The it's a it's an animated comic book series.
Oh, okay. I mean, even if it was an anime, I would give it a try, although that's usually not my thing. But Invincible, I will have to make a note of that and check it out because
You know the boys.
hmm?
You know the
Oh, the
boys.
boys.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Invincible is kind of a lot like it's like like superheroes, but the more extremely gruesome side of it.
Gotcha. Wait, is it the one with what's is there like a Superman-ish character in it?
Yeah, it's Omni Man.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's coming together. I got what
Yeah,
you mean.
I know you at
So
least
I'm
heard of him.
familiar with it to a point. So
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Omni Man's even a character in like the new Mortal Kombat, so I knew you at least heard something from it.
Yeah. I was gonna say it sounded super familiar, but there's so many different like so many different movies and shows out there with superheroes. So I'm
To be
like,
fair,
oh.
the other thing we've talked about it is one
Mhm,
obscure character that's like there for like about 20 minutes of the entire show.
mhm.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I get how it probably didn't remind you of anything.
Like I will. It's funny because I've actually been meaning to check that out because it actually does look pretty good. So maybe that'll push me towards that
Yeah.
because yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. But okay, cool. So you got your character's inspiration from Invincible, and so like, would you say would you say Daniel as a character has like changed or grown in any sense since the big no, let me backtrack. Since his origin story, as far as we know, to where he is now on the island? There's obviously no right or wrong. This is just
Yeah, I
opinionated.
know. I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah.
A little bit. He used to think the law was in turn equal to justice, but
Mhm.
after the interaction with his dad, he realized that if he followed the law, a lot of terrible things would ensue for his dad's
Mhm.
new family. So for what they deserve is a father, and he promised Damien that he would be there for them. So as long as Daniel was able to return the stolen items, uh, so
Yeah. Like
but
he was able to get the job done
yeah,
without making it cost more than it would have otherwise, pretty much.
he's never been satisfied with after that. He
Mhm.
Because he still lied about killing the so he's there was never a right answer there. So no matter what he chose, he would have been upset with himself. But
Yeah, I gotcha.
always be
So,
eating at him. Yes. Go ahead.
oh no, no, you said it was
No,
eating at him
yeah, it's always going to be eating at him.
for
How
sure. Or
he indeed still let a criminal go. So
yes, yes, he did. Um, do you so a little bit of a switch up. So,
yes,
as your DM, as a learning thing for me, it do I leave you guys with like pretty decent choices to make, or do you think I railway a little bit, like in your
no,
experience?
you definitely don't railroad.
Okay.
Uh, not at all. Um, I mean, basically, you should give us. I don't really know how to phrase this, but I never uh thought like you made us go along a path. You
Mhm.
What you do is you give us something extremely interesting that's just straight in front of us, and we could easily say no to that. Like the child came up to us and just like, "Oh, sir, we need your help." And I could have easily
Mhm.
said no to that.
That
Uh,
is very true. Yeah.
but it was very interesting. And then it was a you give me two mysteries to solve, and I've been really happy with those. Like
Good.
first with the missing child, and then with the murder. Uh, the fact that I made him a detective, I'm glad he gets to still be a detective. Or
Good. Good.
yeah,
That's something that I definitely wanted to keep in mind the whole time that we played is
yeah,
like, and I try my very hardest to keep balance between all my players and stuff so that way like because I and obviously like I've known Matthew longer and so
yeah,
like I do and I've purposely been trying to avoid putting too much emphasis on his character just because I know him better. So
yeah.
if I ever do that where it seems like it's just been a while since I've like chipped into your plot, like please speak up because I don't want to do that.
No,
All of you guys
you've
are
been like
very seriously equally important in this story.
like
So
Matthew hasn't really had much to begin with. Like he had like the whole entire Peter Pan thing was about getting his chess piece back.
mhm,
Uh, and that's and then I guess there was Squibbish that was also kind of related to his character. I don't know
yeah.
too much about it, but I believe it is. Uh,
Yeah, but I think quite honestly that was definitely more of a
Callback.
more fourth wall break a little bit
Yeah, you wanted
towards
to invoke nostalgia into him. It's like
yeah,
remember him from the last campaign?
yeah, exactly, exactly. Um so okay, cool, cool. Well, I'm always trying to improve and obviously it's been a while so when we do play again, I'm probably going to be rusty as all heck, but
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it
I get that.
though. So
One
now
thing,
let me
one thing,
oh yeah, yeah.
one thing I do want to say is, um, you might see it as railroading, but what you do is you give us something that's good for the characters, and you know that our characters will go after that. That's different than like the police making you go do something. I feel like
Mm.
there's a making, and then there's a really, really tempting thing that they'll probably go do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not railroading. That's something completely different. And actually, I think it's harder for GMs to do that sometimes.
Mhm.
So you do that really well. So
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you worded it, or like, I appreciate that you worded it that way, because there's like all over TikTok, especially, there's so much debate about like GMs and like, should they just be hands off and it's just the players doing their thing? And I think in some cases, yes. Like if that's just
yeah,
the type of experience you want, and you have the types of players that would, go for that, and that's just how they thrive, cool. But I've been happy with seeing you guys kind of go through the story, and it looks like you're having a good time too. So that's a win-win in my book.
yeah. I'm let's say specifically I think one of the camp I don't remember how it went exactly. You
Mhm.
might have, but during the shopping session,
Mhm.
right before the cart chase,
Yeah.
I don't believe you ever actually pointed us towards the old lady's um shop at all. It's like
Mhm.
eventually one of us just went in there and she's like, and then she was like, oh, free tarot card readings,
Yeah,
and then we were like, all right, but you didn't do any of that until we started to enter it. So
for sure, for sure.
like that was like a
And
completely open thing. You're just like, here's everything you can do. Now go.
and most of the time, and I'm sure you guys know this by now, but most of the time, if I do kind of like emphasize on something, or like I bring a little extra spotlight to something, it's never in a means to like screw you guys up. It's usually in a motion to like set you guys ahead, or like actually give you certain tools or items. Um, One thing that like I recently with Christina, my girlfriend, I was talking to her about, or because she likes watching the TikToks, she watches through them and stuff, and I was rewatching some of them with her, and there was the one when it was actually the same session. It was when the medium got possessed by Aomaki, and he was like speaking through her. Um, there was a point in that interaction when he even asked you guys, like, do you wish to return home?
Hmm.
That question. And I told her, I was just like, just gonna let it be known now. If they had said yes, okay. Like it would have changed up the campaign, but yeah, uh, that's definitely a possibility. So I'm glad you acknowledged that, because yeah, there's definitely points that I like to highlight, but all in all, like, yeah, you guys 100% have the choice. Um, Usually the highlights are going to be for a benefit though. Let's see. All right, so that's a no from Matthew, which I'm glad he said something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Next one, peace. Um, so now let's ask this.
Yeah.
Daniel's relationship with each of the other players,
Hmm.
just like summarized, um in any order you feel like, kind of like tell us where he is with each of them based on his experience.
Yeah. We'll probably start with Jed. He
Yeah.
I feel like he's got a good kind of like brothership with Jed. Like
Mhm.
they've like Jed's obviously the more social one, and he's doing a lot more of the talking when it comes to like regular people, and he's good for the
Yeah.
he's always got everyone's back in the party.
Mhm.
And then there's
So you got
Young
you
Blood,
got Jed, you got Xander, and you
Xander.
got Artie.
Yeah, with Xander, he knows he's a criminal, and
Mhm.
he wants to try his best to help him stop being a criminal, because he's seen his parents and pretty sure he's been raised in the criminal life, but
Mhm.
he sees a good soul inside of him. even though he did eat a bird, but family bird.
It was the family bird, yes.
It's somewhere in there. Like that's good. There's some good part of him in there somewhere, past the family pet eating part.
I say past the stomach, past the stomach and the liver. That's where he really shines through. But okay, cool, cool. So, and then of course Artie. So
Artie, he's
what-
he's a bit torn on Artie. He's definitely been curious. To be honest, he's wants to find a time to get Artie's side of the story,
Mhm.
but a lot of he's never been able to trust criminals too often. That's why he usually keeps Youngblood. I'm gonna keep forgot his first name again on a very short leash, making sure he doesn't steal anything because he is a criminal. So
Yeah.
So if he ever does sit down with like either one day it's going to be a sit down and talk to him about it,
Mhm.
or it's going to be a forced because a decision has to be made. Either way, he's probably going to be casting Reek of Truth, so to make sure truth is spoken.
Yeah.
And obviously something weird's going on because Artie said that the king's not one to be trusted.
Mhm.
And then the wanted poster of himself appearing, even though he's pretty sure a month has not passed,
Mhm.
but that's what he thinks. So
Yeah.
something very weird's happening there. And of course, he has to put all of that on pause for a bit because there's an entire
There's a lot going on.
island being persecuted,
Mhm.
and now in front of him, he's got a tyrant. Next session probably, who apparently just took a pregnant woman. So that's
Yeah. So that actually perfectly segues into what I was going to ask you next is what's I guess what kind of expectations do you have going into this next chapter with Caesar, and based on what you've heard of him, or I know that's a very gray area question, but I mean, like, as you've gathered the little information you've gathered, what does Daniel feel in regards to that?
well, he's obviously angry right now.
Mhm.
Like we ended off with getting the passes and walking towards the city.
Mhm.
And quick detour on this question because I know it's
Yeah.
going to happen next session. I'm going to do another detour back to the kid's family that we just helped. I'm going to
Mhm.
have him bury the cards because I just realized, like I realized since that session, we've never
Mhm.
buried the cards like the lady told us to.
This is very true. This is very true. I actually also noticed that, but yeah.
So I'm gonna give it to the kid himself, just the kid, and tell him to bury
Mhm.
that somewhere that only he knows about. And so
Okay. Very interesting. I like that. I like that. Are you gonna is this gonna be like you're gonna tell the other guys like, hey,
oh,
let's get
definitely.
in? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was gonna be like, hey guys, I'm gonna hide the cards. Just trust me with it. Nobody's gonna find it, and then you like hand it off.
In
Not
regards to the island situation, he trusts Jed and Artie 100%
yeah.
to the island situation. So he would
Mhm.
tell them what he's doing.
Got you.
And also the other one, I forget his name. What's his name?
Xander.
Xander. I can always remember his last name, Youngblood, but Xander
Yeah,
always slips my brain.
I got you.
So yeah.
No, it's that's cool that you remember that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that has been one of those things that's kind of been with me. I'm just like, I wonder if this is like a thing they like a part of the story they are keeping, or if it just kind of got thrown to the side. So that's cool that you remembered that.
I I, I forget how I remembered that, but just like probably a couple weeks ago, I'm just like, you've never buried those cards.
Yeah.
I think I was thinking about the chase that happened with the cards. So
Hmm. Gotcha. Awesome. Um, let me think. Let me think. I only got maybe one or two more, and then
Yeah.
I think, and then I'm good. Because first of all, thank you for going through these with me and
Yeah.
everything. Because I've missed talking to you, and it's always nice to get some fresh thoughts on a shared experience.
I
So,
agree.
um, what is I don't even know if there's been too many of them quite yet, to be quite honest. What has been either a what's been a low point in the story so far? Like like for Daniel personally, what's been like his lowest point? I'm not even talking about necessarily failure, because I'll be honest, I don't think you guys have failed really all that much. Maybe, lost some hit points here or there, but just like a low point where at the time it was just like, oh crap.
When the few times when Jed and not Jed, me and Artie talked about Damien,
Hmm.
there's
Yeah.
been there's been some sad low emotional points there,
Hmm.
and I feel like there's going to be one confronting the king because that's where the true law versus justice is. I feel like it's going to happen there, in Daniel's mind, and probably right now too. Actually, like right when we left off, where
Yeah.
this NPC that we've talked to multiple times between this entire adventure,
Hmm.
hear that she's been kidnapped, and and Daniel is upset that he couldn't do anything to stop that
Yeah.
because there's a tyrant. Like if that's definitely one of the main reasons he's upset is that that's he couldn't do anything to stop it, so he's gonna go fix it.
I gotcha. And it's probably especially difficult when it's like seeing as how this is a royal of sorts, or a ruler, like he is technically within the law, so it's extra frustrating to see someone doing such awful things and still calling themselves law abiding,
Yeah,
or
that's
like
why
having, yeah.
I said next session's definitely gonna there's going to
Yeah.
be an inner turmoil between law and justice in
Mhm.
yeah Daniel. Daniel.
Yeah, I
What's his name
gotcha.
right now? What am I calling myself?
Oh, your phone name.
Yeah. Oh, what is it?
Oh,
I don't have my phone on
golly.
me. I can't remember.
I'm sure somewhere I have it scribbled down. I couldn't even find it.
I have no idea
Uh,
what my phone is. That's where it's currently written down for me.
or is it
So
okay? Oh
I don't know where
man,
it is. So
I'm gonna remember at like 2 o'clock this morning, probably.
probably after this interaction, I'm gonna go look at it on my phone
Yeah,
and be like, oh yeah, that's it.
that's true. That's true. Um, so then as a flip, and I'll make this the last question, but as a flip,
All right, what's up?
for each of the party members, what has been your personal favorite moment for each of them that you've experienced?
I think. I feel like Xander and Artie haven't had much to speak of. I mean, first thing comes to mind for Xander is that he rode a crocodile or alligator, I forget which.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. And he also ate a mushroom.
Hmm.
Probably, probably, but
He was chilling.
he hasn't really had much character high points I've seen that would be memorable. Sadly, and then Artie's, well, he's obviously weaker than the rest of us, so he can't really do much. But
Mhm.
he is learning to cast Bard spells. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then Jed said a lot of cool things, like during the mimic fight, he went on to the tentacle thing kind of, and then planted a explosive and then blew it up. That's pretty cool.
That was cool.
I think. Anything else Jed did? I mean, there was a one-time fight with Jed and the Invincible Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. From the circus. Yeah.
That was a good fight.
I still look back at that and I'm just like, that's crazy. We almost lost Daniel on that one.
Oh yeah. I remember I was running
scary.
I was running straight towards the ringleader, and then you're just like, card, and I'm like, I'm fainted, faceplant.
Yep. Now that was definitely whenever it happened, I was just like, oh no, not this early.
And then actually, Artie did have a scene there where he just brutally murdered that man.
Yes, he did. He very much did.
But that was definitely self-defense. So probably overkill though.
Maybe a tad. Maybe a tad. It was personal.
It was very personal, yeah.
And then, all right. So then Daniel, of course. What's one of your favorite Daniel highlights so far?
One that sticks in my brain is when we're being chased by the mimic, and then I just used the command spell.
Yeah.
I forget exactly what. I think it was probably like stop or flee. I think it was flee.
So, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the combat just didn't there. That's pretty cool. Scene.
Yeah, man. You ordered that thing. You were like, no, go away. And it's just like, they just went.
The first time I rolled a natural 20 when I actually had used a smite, I dealt so much damage.
I think I remember when. Do you remember the combat situation that was in?
I do not. I remember the feeling itself, but I do not remember the situation. I know I was very happy with that.
I also remember that only because it was just like I remember.
It was extremely high damage. I don't remember.
And we were lower levels at the time too, and it was still, even by the current level that we're at, it was like good. It was a good hit. And so I can't, man, I wish I could remember. I'm sure if I look through the videos, I could find it. But awesome. Was there anything else to it?
Well, to what? That specific thing or any other high notes?
Either or.
Like I said, I can't really remember much about the crit, but one more high note. It's just a personal thing. It's not really a Daniel thing, but it's a me thing. I solved your case before the actual solution was done.
The murder mystery?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, you did.
I called out the detective. You threw me off a little bit, but before that session ended, I said I'm pretty sure it's him.
No, you 100% did, and I promise if you were to go back and rewatch like that part of the video, and you mentioned
looked distraught.
I started smiling, like you were talking about, like, oh well, he was a druid, he might have shapeshifted. I'm just like, like I was just like chuckling to myself. I'm like, shut up, Daniel, shut up.
You threw me off a little bit with the Kenku because I believed it was a bird, and so, and then there was like, oh, the Kenku did it, and I was like, the Kenku did it. Oh, good job, Jed. That makes sense. And then, but there was I just had a feeling. But then suddenly it was just like, oh, it's actually a scorpion. A scorpion. Now that's a thing that druids can turn into.
Yeah, dude. Homebrew worlds, yeah. But
no, actually, I don't know what CR. I'm curious. I'm gonna go completely on a tangent. Look up the CR of a giant scorpion. You should have been able to turn into a giant scorpion.
Now, I do think I bootlegged some stats from another creature that I had on hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I was going to say, I don't think it's going to match quite up, but I remember due to the type of creature, I can't remember what type it was, but due to the type of creature it was, I was just like, that fits what I'm going for. Like that fits the presentation and the
Challenge
ability.
rating 3. I believe a Druid of the Moon might be able to do it.
Okay.
A moon, yeah, definitely possible for a druid to turn into a giant scorpion. So I
Cool.
I wasn't questioning it at all. So
Okay. This is one of those situations where it's just like, that may not be a thing everywhere else, but for me it is. But
get that.
awesome. Well then, I guess in wrapping up and everything, do you have any questions for me or comments for me? Any information I can bring into your life that will make your day better?
Not particularly. Like anything that I have questions on, I just know it's going to be solved in the future. So
I guess what would some of those questions be that you have at the moment concerning the overall story?
none that you can answer. Like, did
Yeah.
Jed actually murder? Jed did Artie actually murder his wife?
Mhm.
Or is it? It's probably going to. What it's probably going to be. It's going to probably be extremely complicated. Where like technically he did, but he actually didn't, and so the king has every right to want him dead. But Artie didn't actually do anything wrong. So it's if that is the case, I'm going to be so annoyed because then I have to make a choice there and probably going to be wanted for a long time.
Yeah. I got you.
So yeah, I'm just gonna have to worry about that when it happens. Any other questions? Yeah, not really. That I don't think anything you can answer. Like a lot of vague ones. Like I wonder what level we're gonna end this campaign at. So
yeah,
if you could somehow tell me that, I could plan ahead to figure out how much I should put into Bard and how much I should put into Paladin. But without knowing the final level, yeah.
I mean, because I don't really know, to be quite honest.
Exactly. You had no real reason you should be able to answer that.
What I can tell you though is plot line wise, as far as like if I had to say percentage of like the overall vision and possible outcomes, because all sorts of things could happen.
Yeah.
You guys could be you guys could be like maybe halfway through.
Only halfway. I expected.
There are some situations or some things that could happen that could set you back a little bit, however.
Oh, all right.
So it could be technically even less than that. I'm trying to think if there's anything that would jot you forward. Crack. I'm trying to think if there's anything that would jot you forward that I'm forgetting, because I might be shooting low, but
because I know in my brain it's after this interaction with the king, we're most likely going to get the orb. Hopefully we get to talk to Xander again, get the sword back, put it in Jed's hand because Xander's been disappearing a lot. Sneaky rogue stuff. Then after that, I would assume it would be around the final battle time. And so it's after probably like the 2-3 sessions. I don't know how long we're going to be spending in the city. After that, we go into the mountain and attempt to fight.
It's a weird name. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Aomake.
Aomake. Yeah.
Which, fun fact, when I made that name, it's not just nonsense. It actually has a
meaning.
It has a meaning that's it's a homebrew meaning, but it's in an actual language that I put through Google Translate. So so it does, there's something there, but it is a weird name. So I kind of wish I could redo it, but I'm not going to at this point, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like you guys are just pretty much like halfway there.
That's interesting. That like I have no idea. Like in my brain, it's the city and then the boss. So that means there's going to be more stuff in between that I have no idea about. So
yeah, I'm excited, man, because when we do start playing again, I told my girlfriend this. I've told my parents this because I tell them all my like when I'm brainstorming or I'm thinking stuff. I'm like, okay, sit down and listen to this. Does this sound good to you? And I
Look at
just
that.
like spill it to them. Um, I'm excited because this new chapter we're entering into, things are going to start actually happening. And what I mean by that is that this whole prior chapter of experiencing, meeting certain races, certain NPCs, yada yada yada, that's been groundwork.
I see.
That's been setting the scene, getting you guys used to the world you're in, how it operates, recognizing the curse, like a bit more like, okay, what the effects are. Like, you discovered the curse, you discovered the goal, you discovered some allies, you discovered some enemies, and you guys now know enough about each other's character to know how you operate. Um, Not to mention there are now certain questions in place that you didn't have before. So all that comes together to where now, that's why I say it could be jotted forward, because now you guys have the groundwork where I know I can start being like, okay, this is here, run for
I
it.
gotta be. I've been holding this in for a while.
Okay.
I wanted to keep it secret until around the day of.
Okay.
I don't want like Matthew and I forget his name, like his actual name. I remember Xander now, but I don't remember his actual name. Jaden.
Jaden.
We've been doing a lot of contacts with a lot of different people who could send aid for the final battle, like the tree folk. We got underground connections thanks to Xander's parents. Perhaps they could send some people. And possibly after the talk with the city, perhaps we'll give someone else, hopefully someone else will have control of the city. Maybe they'll send people after. And want to see if I can get an army to help with the final battle. And
anything's possible, man.
that's specifically why I got the Falcon.
Yeah.
Because it goes to people instead of bird places.
Like posts,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So with that, it'd be a lot easier to send messages between everyone who I want to send messages to.
Yeah. And you guys got the fast bird too. So
yeah.
You can.
The Falcon was the only one who did the go to the person. So that's specifically why the Falcon was gotten.
Yeah. Freaking cheese. Name it after food. Can't eat it, but name it after food. I like that. But yeah, no, seriously, like we were talking about earlier, like, you guys truly do have full control, and that is, I love that idea personally.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I'm curious now, if and when I get to interview the other guys one-on-one, I'm wondering if they will come to that, or if they
I have no idea. I know Daniel's been thinking about it, because the more numbers is better. He's in his past as a police or a police helper, whatever I am. He knows if you have more numbers, that it's easier to claim victory over.
Yeah.
So
strength in numbers for sure.
Yeah.
But well, all right. Well, thank you for doing this interview with me, Ben. I appreciate you. I love having you as a player and as a friend. And hopefully we get to hang out like in person soon, because we've been all so busy since like the beginning and everything. So when the anniversary came around, it just like hasn't happened. That being said, we can still plan it. We can still make it happen. It doesn't have to be any particular time. It's just like when we're ready, we're ready, you know? But well, I will sign off to TikTok, but if you want to say anything to our TikTok friends, say anything, or say bye, or say that you love them, or whatever.
Well, do you know what the number is actually now?
For followers?
Followers, yeah.
I can look it up right now. We are at 1,015.
1,000. We're above 1,000. That's amazing. I can't believe there's 1,000 people following. I don't know how many people are going to see whatever you post on TikTok. I wonder if it's going to be this, but it's amazing. There's just 1,000 people that enjoy your content that we also get to enjoy too. So
it's our content. There's no story without you guys. Trust me. but yeah, no, it is crazy. We got
Yeah.
1,015 crazy people
That's
that
amazing.
that are just hopping on board, and yeah, it's really cool to see that. And like I said, I love playing with you. Love playing with Matt and Jaden, and I miss Jaden. Hope he comes back.
Yeah.
Right now, I miss Matt too because no one's here. You know?
It's been a while.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I will sign off on this video. I won't hang up the
Right.
call yet. I'll still talk to you for a second longer.
All right.
But thanks for watching on TikTok, guys. Hopefully
Yeah.
more of these will come soon, more videos and yada yada yada. This isn't YouTube, so I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. So talk to you later. Peace out. And let me stop recording like a crazy person.